Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Julie Alexandra Wahr-Hansen, and I'm a professional athlete from Norway competing in obstacle course racing. I was asked to come down here to you today and talk to you a little bit about my story and how I am a full-time athlete. So the content for my presentation will be my story, who am I, my ups and downs on the way to become where I am today. I will tell you a little bit about what OCR is, for those of you who don't know, and also how you should train for obstacle course racing. Then I will take you a little bit behind the scenes and tell you the truth about how it is really being an athlete and how my life is. And then on the end of the presentation, I will go through some preparations I do before the last week before contests, and I might give you my gold recipe here. We will also open up for some questions at the end of the presentation. But feel free to ask me anything if something just pops into your head during the presentation. So who am I? As I said, I'm from Norway, and I grew up mostly among boys, being a little tomboy. Constantly running trees and just couldn't sit still. I had this urge for intense activity. And so it was really natural for me up through the years then to test out lots of different sports, all from gymnastics, surfing, to athletics, cross-country skiing, and today obstacle course racing. Yeah. Being so versatile and developing different skills have really given me an advantage today as an athlete, and might also be the reason for why I ended up choosing CR. Another important factor I think you need to have if you want to succeed or stand out, even if it's to be an athlete or a businessman or a house mom, it is this extreme will. You need to be motivated and goal-orientated to overcome challenging periods of time. Already at the age of 10, I started this routine to go up early in the morning, like 5, 6 before school, go out jogging, and that was besides organized soccer and swimming practice. It was not because my mom told me to do it or my coach, but it was what I wanted. I wanted to become the best soccer player. I have this saying, if better is possible, then good just isn't good enough. And this has been my guiding star up through the years and made me aim high both in education as well as in sport. As I said, I like to use both my brain and my body. I'm always taking school seriously and wanted to perform well on all platforms. In Norway, we have this saying called good girl syndrome, meaning a person who's really conscientious, reflected, and a perfectionist. I agree that this is good qualities, but the problem is if you get too much of them, and then you feel never are good enough. And this was my problem when I was younger. And at 7th grade, I totally lost it and got severe anorexia. So I was admitted to the hospital for 6 months. And the most challenging time, or I think was the worst with that time, was all the side effects in the years to come after. Not being able to train like I needed to train and wanted to train. I got tons of fatigue fractures and virus disease. I took an engineer degree and joined the professional ski club in Norway called Lyn Ski. And I wanted to see how well I could perform in cross-country skiing, because this is Norway's national sport. Besides being a full-time student and part-time worker, I tried to keep up with all the other athletes to average 4 to 5 hours of training daily. And finally, this got its toll, and I hit the wall again. And I got the diagnosis of overtrained, followed by even more fractions and disease. So, what have I learned from this? I think that time had made me in a way stronger. I've learned the importance of understanding total workload and finding balance in life, because body is no machine, even though we tend or like to think it is. You need to listen to your body's signal and see the importance of enough sleep and rest, nutritious good food. We all need some social input from friends and family besides working and training. Then in 2015, I joined my first obstacle course race. I'd heard some rumors about a big European obstacle course tournament coming to Norway called Toughest. So I tried, or I thought just, yeah, why not just try this? Fun. And I did perform quite actually. So I was, and then 2 weeks later, in Denmark, where I turned out to come in 5th place, and that impressed obstacle course community. And then in the aftermath, the ball just started to roll, and I was approached by several sponsors who wanted me to run professional for them. So I knew I were at a crossroad here. I had tried studying and being a part-time worker and doing professional sport, and that hadn't taken me anywhere than getting tired and becoming sick. So I told myself, Julie, if you're going to do this, you're in it 110% this time. And I was tired and fed up of always being so rational and smart thinking, duty and safety first. Now I just wanted to really do what I loved and follow my heart. So I quit my stable engineer job and signed the deal. So some of you might wondering, what is OCR? OCR stands for Obstacle Course Racing, and as the name predicts, it's a course with obstacles, often a terrain course. The purpose of the obstacles is to test your mental and physical strength, and typical obstacles can be rope climbing, big jumping, some balance walk to test your balance. Mudlands and electricity is really, you say, people like that. And sometimes you also have to do some swimming and cliff jumps, like we did on the Grint in the spring. OCR strains from the Olympic Games with the steepleches and are inspired by military training. And it has actually taken the world by storm, becoming the fastest growing sport in the world in the last 5 years. It has actually eclipsed the amount of participants with marathons and half marathons combined. So there are a lot of people doing this now. A common question I get is how you train for obstacle course racing and what are the most important aspects. I will say number 1 is endurance and running, because 85 to 90% of the race will be running. So where do you think you will save the most time? Exactly, running. Then a strong core is really important. This will make you run more efficient and to better conquer the obstacles. And it will also prevent you from getting injured. Then grip strength and relative strength is important. With relative strength, I mean you want to be as strong as possible with not gaining or having too much body mass. Traveling around the world competing, I see this big strong man coming out from the gym, standing on the start line with their biceps and confidence to the moon and back. But it doesn't take a long time after starting shot that they get passed by small teenage girls or fall down from like climbing ropes, obstacles like that. And then motivation and mental strength, important, of course. Maybe the most basic things, because you need to really love what you're doing, because it will hurt during the race. And negative thoughts will come to your mind, and then you have to train on getting rid of those thoughts and bring in some positive. And that is a training thing. I usually like to set small goals that can be running 10 meters ahead or just finishing up that hill. Or sometimes I always also think about crossing the finish line and knowing you have done your best. So find your carrot and just smile. So how is life as an athlete? It's not as glammy and glorious as it can be. First of all, we are strange people with very strong feelings. So I would not recommend you to try living with one. We are selfish and put ourselves before yours to succeed. If you are sick, don't expect our compassion, because most likely we just kick you outside the house because we are afraid to get sick ourselves. We will be gone 6 to 8 hours a day for training, and when we are home, we just eat, sleep, and eat some more. To us, it doesn't matter if it's Monday or Saturday or if it's your birthday. It's bedtime 9:30, because we just need our 10 hours amount of sleep, and that doesn't even count for the day, the sleep during the day between training session 1 and 2. You must be prepared for a lot of crying and frequent visits to the hospital. I think only this year I had 3 broken ribs, 1 brain infection. I'm taking care of both my knees, my left ankle, and my right hip. Yeah, I hope you understand I'm saying this with a little sarcasm, but it's not far from the truth. So why we do it? I ask myself this all the time, especially when things are not going great. But the feeling you get when you accomplish and reach your goal is just so incredible and indescribable. So yeah, then it's just totally worth it. So how do I prepare the last week before my competition? This is my golden recipe. On a Monday, it's 2 times 45 minutes jog. Tuesday, intervals. A standard interval day for me would be 10 to 12 times 1,000 meters. And then on Wednesday, it's some speed, agility, and stretching. Thursday, usually rest day. That day I used to pack my bag, going through my stuff and gear, and I like to be a little bit social on that day, just clearing my thoughts and mind. Then on Friday, it's usually a traveling day, and when I come to the hotel, I go out and I check out and lay my tactique, run through the course, and see where I can put down some good. And then on Saturday, as competition day, I hopefully kick some ass. Of course, my golden recipe is not necessarily your golden recipe, but there are some basic things you should think of. Number 1, the last week is less training. Train less hours and shouldn't be that hard. So more easy training, and try to just save up some energy and motivation for the competition day. But don't take it too far and lay on the couch for 6 days, because then your body will be in shock when you start running on the competition day, and I don't think you will perform as good as you could have done. Then eat normal. Here is where people are hysteric, I think. Don't try out new things now. It's not the time to experience. Don't overdo it. You should not eat like a caveman. You won't be out running for days. And don't skip eating just because you want to be lighter climbing that rope. I would recommend you to eat a proper meal the evening before. filled with some carbs, because carbs are fast and good energy for the body to use during high intensity training. And then stay hydrated. I try to be good at drinking water the 2 days, especially the 2 days before competition, and constantly sipping some water all the way through the Saturday before. Then on competition day, you shouldn't eat your last proper meal any closer than 3 to 2 hours before the race, because that might give you stomach cramps. But if you feel hungry when the race is closing up, you can take a snack or a banana, whatever you feel like. Questions? Electricity? Yeah. It can be dioder heter det. Ja. Some strings with electricity hanging down, and you have to run through them, so they will like hit you when you run through them. Then it hurts a little bit, but it's not that. It's just for the ooh cool, the gimmick thing. Sure. In the start I used the gloves, but my experience is that when you get down in mud or water, they can be more slippery than just using your hands. So I prefer and just train my hands to get to know the feeling of not using gloves and get a good grip strength. Yeah, I would lie if I say it's not. Of course, I have to sacrifice a lot of social, like parties and dinners, because I need my sleep and my training, and I'm also a little bit afraid to get sick, at least in the season. But as I said in the presentation, you need to find a balance. You can't just train and work. You also need to have some social input and to clear your mind. That must be from a guy running the course tomorrow, eating some running tips. 5K. I would say I would never go out 100%. I like to take a look at my contests people, and but maybe 5K is not a long distance, so maybe 80-85%, and then just put up the speed if I feel good. When things go bad, or I'm injured or having a hard time, I feel like, oh, this is waste. I skipped that party last week, and I'm always so strict at myself, and now I'm injured. So, but at the same time, it's a choice I've self-chosen. So, not really, not in the end. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the same question. How do I balance social and doing sport? I can be better at balancing that, but You have to just listen to your body, and sometimes you should push yourself. Going to a party, you don't have to drink. At least I don't drink. But be there for some hours and then just go home. So yeah, that's how I try to balance it. Not always saying no, but yeah, come there and eat some for some hours and then just go home and get some rest. Before the competition. Okay, yeah, so the day before the competition, so that will be Friday. I go up, eat some breakfast, and go to the airport often. Also, always bring my water bottle, and yeah, are good at drinking. Then when I come from the airport, it will be and land on I go to the hotel. It might be like 3 o'clock. So I just take a shower, change clothes, and go straight out to the course to check it out. And then I run through the course and lay my tactique. Then going back to the hotel, taking a new shower, and going out eating with some of the other my friends that are also competing, because we get this environment. And then 8, 9, I would like to go back to the hotel and just chill and rest. And I go to sleep maybe 10 o'clock. Yeah. So then in the morning, I have to go up quite early, going down eating breakfast, and that would be some cereal, corn. I like to eat corn because that is slow carbs that will fill up my carb energy. Eat breakfast, and yeah, then it's just do some massage and yeah, get my muscles going, some stretching, and then going out to the course and do drills and warm up before the start. That's it. All right. You there? Hey, thank you.